Yo, what's good everyone? It's Marvin from mjo23dan.com. Today's video I want to bring to you a comparison between these guys right here. So you may have already seen the Chicago Air Jordan 1 comparison. If not, then I'll go ahead and post that video up on the screen so you guys can check it out. But this is the 2015 Air Jordan 1 and the 1985 Chicago 1. I also did a video on the black and red, or the band Air Jordan 1. This is the 1985 and this is the 2016. My recent pickup, the 1985 OG Air Jordan 1 Royal, and I'll do a comparison between that and the 2017 Air Jordan 1 Royal. Alright, so the Air Jordan 1 has a real cool mystique about it. There isn't anyone really that knows all the colorways that released in 1985. There was a slew of colors that have released, from metallics to white red, royal blue, purples, you name it. And I was fortunate enough to be able to grab the Chicagos, the band ones, and now the royal blues. So I feel like this is the trifecta moment. There's a mystique about the Air Jordan 1 black and red that has never been worn in an NBA game, yet Jordan did wear it in the slam dunk contest of 1985. But anyways, so I was fortunate enough to be able to pick up this OG Air Jordan 1, and really cool. The guy really just needed the money at this moment in time, and I was fortunate enough to be able to grab it at a really good price. A lot of the dead stock Air Jordan 1s that come into play for sale over the years have been close to maybe like $2,000 to $3,000, and that's with like box, dead stock, everything. And if you're an Air Jordan 1 collector or Air Jordan collector in general, OG ones are something you definitely need in your collection. So let's talk about it. So this is the OG Air Jordan 1 Royal, right? So the difference between these and the 2017 is obviously 30 years, right? So I think what's cool about the Air Jordan 1 is that even within the 30 plus years that Jordan brand has pretty much been in existence, is that the silhouette hasn't really changed much at all. They have maybe, spiced it up a bit with the off-whites, or changed up the colors and whatnot, but it's a great design, and the Jordan 1 silhouette is a classic. Owning the OG now is something that is very near and dear to my heart, because it makes me feel complete as a collector. Yeah, like I said, if you're an Air Jordan collector, you definitely need Jordan 1s, or even OG Air Jordan 1s in your collection. But the difference between that one and this one is obviously the leather quality. So you can see on the swoosh, there's leather, that tumble leather, and even on the toe. Now with all those other ones that I showed you, the Chicagos and the band ones, and then these, I also do have dead stock pairs. So these are actually pairs that I've worn, so you can see the soles here. And it's always with me like a rock one, stock one type mentality, and it's always been like that for some time, especially for pairs that I love the most. When we go back to the OG one, you can see the swoosh on there. It's a big swoosh. Jordan and Nike have played around with the idea of big swooshes, not quite yet on the Jordan 1, but in other models that we've seen over the years. I really feel that that swoosh right there is a vinyl swoosh. It's not the same as the leather all over the OG one, because if you see in the tongue area, if this thing can focus, if you see in the tongue area, you'll see the thickness of the leather, right? You can see that up there, even at the top of the collar there. But when you come to the swoosh, you'll see that's very thin cut, not as thick. And so I feel like that is vinyl, and it's probably not on this pair, but on my other shoe, you can see a bunch of cracking that is on the shoe, on the swoosh itself. I think that's what's different about this OG pair versus the retro, is that this piece is a different type of material than the rest of the shoe overall. So if you're ever in the market for OG ones, you'll notice that there's a bunch of other ones that have different, and this one is like faded away now. You can't even see it, but on OG ones, you'll notice on the inside collar there, you'll see the size, which is the 10, the 85, which is the year, the 09, 11, which is September to November, and then TY1. TY1 is the factory in which these shoes were made. And, you know, back in the day, it used to be like Taiwan, China, Korea. Those would be like one of the, you know, pretty much the main countries of manufacture for older Air Jordans. So I don't think they went, or I think they went exclusively to China when they started dropping like the 1999s. So we're talking about like the 14, 15s. But anyways, so back to this. That factory number right there at the back is going to be different from any of the other OG type Jordans. So you'll see like different shaped collars. You'll see like some that are like cracking really bad, some that are not, some that are like in good shape. This one is in really good shape. I believe the factory on this one is TH, like you really can't see it, it's all faded and whatnot, but my other shoe has it. These have like the crunchy collars. A lot of people will talk about crunchy collars, and that's just the foam that's deteriorating there in the collar. So you'll notice also on the retro ones, so that collar, that black part, which I call the collar, a lot of people call the collar, is leather. And even this inside part right here, leather. But on the OG ones, it's foam. And what Nike did back in the day was they painted those, because this is a exposed piece, and they painted these collars. That's why you'll see a lot of it cracking, and even that inside part. So those will fade. But other than that, like, you know, that's your look at the OG one. So, you know, just comparing the shape, the style, the quality, the toe. Here's the toe on the OG versus the toe on the retro. You'll see a lot more tumble on the retro. And like, I don't knock the way that the retros look nowadays. I actually like the feel, the look. There's something about there's little things that Jordan Brand does in retro that make sense. Whether it's updating the materials, I know a lot of purists don't like updated materials. They like to be able to keep the same type of quality that is in the OG one or any of the OG Jordans in general. But I think some things changed, like for example the OG Air Jordan 16 with the gator at the bottom. That part snaps off, you know, where it like hooks underneath the shoe, make that design better. I think that should be an elastic band. And so that's one thing where I'm like, well, they can change the design of the Air Jordan to make it better. But when it comes to the OG one though, the quality, the type of leather that they used on this shoe is immaculate. Like, you can't describe the feeling at all. And I got another question coming in that said, are these wearable? Are OG ones wearable? Yes, I've worn OG ones in the past. If you see my Instagram, I've posted pictures of me wearing OG ones, and it's still a great shoe. The only thing that would deteriorate to me would be the collars, which is the exposed foam, and the Nike Air that's on the inside, so you really can't feel that like air bounce and all that stuff. Let me know what you guys think. That is your comparison between the retro Air Jordan 1 and the OG Air Jordan 1. Alright guys, thanks again so much. If you guys are new to the channel, please subscribe. I'm at mjo23dan on social media everywhere. And if you guys are interested in buying a t-shirt off me, you can go to mjo23dan.com/shop and you can purchase one for 20 bucks. Alright guys, thanks for tuning in. I'll talk to you guys later. Take care.